Hello, everyone. Hi. So nice to be here with you. Welcome, you beautiful people. So let me just activate this. So here I am. It's already, it's already Saturday the 13th. um, Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy to be here with you. As always, is a joy, is a privilege, is a an amazing moment every time that I have the opportunity to be here with you, with all of you, humans and non-humans, in this moment as in every other moment. So let me see. Now, prepare. So let me do this. Yes. So, and now there we go with Instagram as well. So I'm live on YouTube and on Instagram as in the same moment. Hi everyone. Hi. Right. It's already, as I was saying here, it's already just we are 2 minutes in Saturday, March the 13th. 13th. It's always difficult to say. Right. So I wanted to come in live. This week has been amazing. On Sunday, I participated to my first roundtable around Ascension with the wonderful Kimberly, Isabel, Roxanne, Nikki, and let me see because uh, there is one more, but it's Dave or David. hmm Let me just, because I want to have it correctly. Daniel. I knew it was a AD. Oh, sorry, I moved too quick. Too quick. Hello, love to everyone. So let me go back to here. So yeah, the first roundtable around Ascension Sunday. It can be seen on Kimberly's YouTube, and I put on. Well, you can find on my Facebook the link, and I posted it on Facebook, on Instagram too, I think, right? And that was amazing. We will do it again on the 21st, so in same time in 1 week, on Sunday the 21st, same time, 11 CET, so Central Europe time. I don't know exactly the timetable for other places because I know that in the United States you change to the summer time this weekend, if I'm not wrong, on Sunday. So well, I'll post about all of this everywhere in the following days. We have already created the YouTube video, pre-recorded, registered, right? And then it will be, and this time we will be on time. We already set everything up, and then so the Zoom connection will work this time. So we will be on time on on the 21st, so Sunday, 21st March, at 11 Central European time, so Zurich, Bern, um, yeah, I didn't want to say yet. Anyway, Rome, Paris, Prague, right? Berlin. Yes, 11. And then We have it. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. Yeah, I have to share this. I forgot to share. Well, it was a great week, as I said. I had many experiences. I had an out of body experience just today. So yesterday for me now. I went out. I felt that I was out and that I was leaving my body. So I went in space. I went in a I was in a spaceship with my hybrid children. That's what happens generally when I have that kind of experience, because I have like what was the number? Two-third of humans have hybrid children, if I remember correctly, or it's half. I don't. Maybe it's half of human beings that have hybrid children. It's something that most of you do not know because you do not know about the hybridization program, but most of you are part of it. Which is not by the way, it's not a one of those theories is of whatever. It's something that some of us know, but it's okay. So let me share this. So, yes, I said about the out of body experience yesterday on Friday. So it's already yesterday for me. It's just midnight 07. So there you go. And and then I had another amazing thing is that I went in what we could say the dream state. I went in another planet um, many times, and I had an experience with with another self. It was interesting. It was absolutely amazing. I met other beings that are I couldn't really see them because I was seeing, right, when we have those kind of experiences in the dream state, we do not see the beings we interact with the way they are. We see them the way we can see them, because humans cannot confront themselves with the reality of what is different. And so often we see these beings as a humanoid, but actually they are not humanoid. But well, that's what we can see. And as we oftentimes is that it's a version of the self. It's us, it's me having a lifetime and an experience on another planet, on another reality. And so the people that you interact with is people that you are interacting with already on Earth, but it's another version of them. So it's always right happening in this way. And so that's why sometimes you are on another planet. And in fact, what you are seeing is that you are seeing the people you know on Earth. So you're perceiving them as what you know. However, you are not there with the human version of them. You are there with the version that it could be Syrian Pleiadians or Octurians, right? Fae. You can have experiences. Wow, yes, in the fair in the fair fae fairy reality, right? And well, the fairies are here on Earth, so it's not, you don't have to go very far with the fairies. But the fairy world is very vast. There are, you can have mm, uh, let's say humanoid elves. They can look like somehow humans, but they are not humans. I met one just outside the window. I saw an elf, a woman, yeah, female looking. Um, or well, you can have in there, you can have gnomes, you can have, right, it's very vast, very, very big. And all these beings that we see, like dragons, unicorns, like these kind of things, may be found in the fairy world, which is another vibration, very simply. And it's they are here on earth. Why do not we see them? It's because humans do not see what they do not want to admit that exist, right? As I say, as I often say, it's not because you cannot see something that it doesn't exist. On the contrary, it exists. It's simply that you are refusing to see that. It's so out there, all the world that we cannot see with the, well, the dragons, right? Dragons. Why do you think that dragons are in the mythology of humans? All these books and all these stories about dragons, and you think that people have imagined dragons? Of course they didn't. Do you think that people imagine unicorns? No, of course they didn't imagine unicorns, neither dragons, neither anything else. It's simply that at some point the humans decided to refuse the existence of these other beings, and so they just disappeared from our ability to see them, to put it very simply. So I was finishing breakfast with Max live. Yes. Yeah, I can't, I don't know why I can't do this anymore. I have to check this. So these experiences are amazing. So I mean, right? And now, right, we all have these experiences. We all have them. You have dreams. The dreams are not imagination. They are not fairy tales or anything like that. That you believe that dreams are no, in dreams you are still experiencing, you are alive, you are going, you are focusing your attention into another aspect of your being, so you are having experiences, real life experiences. However, you think you are dreaming. That's what we have been said. However, no, your body stays behind, right? Your body is incarnated here on earth. It stays here, but you leave it behind. So your wife, your husband, if they wake up in during the night to go drink something or eat something in the kitchen, they will see you staying there dreaming, right? Sleeping. But your consciousness will be somewhere else. And on another planet or on a spaceship. And as I was saying before, today I visited my children, my hybrid children that are on a spaceship near Venus. I can hear people saying this guy is crazy. Well, no, I'm not crazy. Sorry for those that prefer to believe that these kind of things are just craziness, but it isn't. um, well, it's easier to refuse the existence of these kind of things than to admit that you have been manipulated into not believing you are amazing as a being. But anyway, when I have this experience, in fact, I cannot yet exactly see when I go there because I'm leaving. I'm not exactly leaving the body, but let's say the body stays behind. My consciousness travels or is taken by the people of the hybrid program, so the Zeta Reticulate on the spaceship, And so I go there, and I mean, at this point, is even not that they take it, I'm going there. um and so I can they so I go there, and I have they check the body, they check the health, they see if there is anything that need to be done, they check all the things that are they are using to keep in contact with us. And then obviously there are my children that are there. This hybridation program started, well, back some long time ago. And in the beginning of my involvement in this incarnation, I had this. It was not really the beginning, but I had this being appearing in my room as I was 3 4 year old. um, and I remember one time, but I remember one time as many times because I remember it in many different ways. So it happened. It happened many times, and so that was that I know that about, and later on I was able to recall my involvement in this program. There are many programs that are going on, so there are many of us that are having these children, hybrid children. They are the ones that will inhabit Earth, as an evolution of the human being. We already know these things. Bashar has talked about this some times ago already. So these are things that are known now by some of us. Some of us are just ignoring them because they prefer to stay into the religion, religious thing, and right, and refuse everything that is not told by the religion, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. Um, because everyone is allowed to believe anything they want and to go with anything they want. This is the real, right, the real us, what we really believe about these kind of things and everything like that. So let me see, one more thing. So hi everyone, I hope the chat works. Let me see. It seems that it works. Great. Um, so, okay, fantastic. Now that I've done all of this, let me just, oh, hi, Dave. Welcome. Um, so, um, what is the, as I started talking about this, let me just keep giving some information about the hybrid program and the hybrid children that a lot of us human, we are having these children. So the hybridation, it's a difficult word to say in English, program started way back. I could say it started even thousands of years ago, because our friends help many of us, many humans, for instance, the Jewish, that were lost in the desert, to survive, because they knew that the genetics was important, and so they helped preserve some humans, these humans, a lot of humans, that so we can say that this hybrid program started way back, thousands of years. What is this? What are, so the main one, the one I'm part of, I know I'm part of, is the Zeta Reticulate program, and the Zeta Reticulate are a parallel version of humans that have evolved, and they have evolved in a way where they were masters of genetics. But becoming masters of genetics, what they have done is that they have lost their ability for reproduction. So they couldn't have children anymore. What they did is that they use clones. So they cloned themselves in order to keep going the species. However, you can clone someone so many times because the material, the genetic material, the DNA doesn't allow you to clone too much. There is a interesting thing in Frank Herbert's Dune saga. The Frank Herbert introduced in his saga a species that um, use something like that, and they had, in order to clone, they created some sort of um, genetic machine that were done using the womb of women. So they were killing, they were transforming their women into this axolotl thing in order to clone and have right to have these kind of things. So so you see in our imagination, in our, it's not imagination, but in our books and this kind of things, hi Angie, welcome. They We have this some sort of stuff like that coming in, and Frank Herbert is one of those that have been able to give us in his books an idea of these genetics and these kind of things. So the data reticulate, at some point, even the clone was not anymore, this making clones was not working anymore. So they had to find another solution. The solution that has been found is for them to come here, contact humans at a stage where the reproduction system is working and very well, so they could work with us in order to reproduce themselves. But the reproduction, so it's a hybrid program, because we are creating hybrids with their genetic material and with our genetic material. So there is a new species that is created, and that allows them to go back into being able to reproduce the species. So our involvement is unconscious, in the sense that most of us are not able to recollect that they are participating into these programs. And however, some of us are able to recollect them, because some are recollecting that they saw a light and then they find themselves in a spaceship, blah, 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 right? These kind of things. Some are able to recollect part of it, but most of us are not able, because it's even not that our memory is simply wiped away, is that because I have have had these experiences forever in my life, but I know now, because as I know, when I'm gone, when I leave my body to be in a spaceship, I know that my physical body is unable to see. I cannot open my eyes, for instance, and sometimes, and you can, even those that don't believe these kind of things, it's very easy to know if you are part of any of these programs, because it's just as simple as asking questions like, have you ever had dreams where you cannot move, or experiences where you want to wake up and you are unable to wake up. You are there in your dream, and as you are trying, you say, I want to open my eyes, I want to open my eyes, I want to open my eyes, and you are unable to do it. And many of us have this kind of dreams where, right, or as I said, you can't move, you can't move, you are there and you try to move, and it's like, right, you are too tired for moving and you just can't, right, these kind of things. And when you ask these questions to people, even if they are dodging the, answering this, because, right, subconsciously you do not want to answer these questions, or you are suspicious of questions like this, comes out that many have had this kind of experiences. And when you have these kind of experiences, well, you are part of these programs. There are many programs. I've been talking about the Zeta Reticulates, the Grays, but there are many others that are working with us. And, right, this at the beginning, our experience was a experience of being force, right, extracted from here. And as the data reticulate, one other problem that I problem, it's not a problem, but one other situation that we were having with them is that they removed their emotional body, so that they were not able to empathize, to have any empathy with us, any understanding with the humans that were scared of the experience, because for the human, what was happening was really very traumatic. And so when you have these kind of experiences, that you are facing a race that is unable to understand that you are scared, and even not willing to do so, or, right, this kind of thing, at the end of the day, well, your experience is even worse, because you are there scared, and they don't understand that, and then they try to do something, and you respond to it as if they are harming you, when in fact they are just checking your body there. And then, well, if they have to do some intervention on you, where they need to, right, open something and check your inside you, or it's right, if you are not connected, if they have no empathy, they do not understand that you can feel uh, mm, harm, right, that they are harming you, and that it's aging and this kind of thing. So, right, the experience at the beginning was very, very traumatic for most of us, and I'm one of those that have had a traumatic experience in the beginning with these programs. And now I am very, very, very happy with that, because I have been able to connect with my children, to talk with them, to even telepathically connect with them and talk with them. I have even a video where I am translating what they are telling me. And right, I have names, I have had this amazing connection, and it's and the love that they're able to express for us is something, it's of a unconditional level, as it's a love that it's difficult to express as humans, because we are more conditional. They come from a different vibrational uh, status. Let's say that if we are third dimensional, they are more fifth dimensional. So they live in a different state, so that the understanding of all of this is different. But so their experience of love, but it's different. However, however, the experience of connecting with them, it's you cannot convey it um, in a right, because we come from a space of oh, we didn't give you what you need because right, we are here on Earth, you're up there in space, outside Venus, um, and uh, and so and then we realize, well, no, that is not the problem, because they had, right, it's like with we think that our children here on Earth needs the parents, and we do not understand that the child without the parents could as well grow up and become right adult and have a life, which is what orphans are having, and people and children um, that live um, with other people. So right, there is always a way. We always find a way to for ourselves, because we are creators, we are creating our lives. So if you have a child that is lost in the jungle, the child will grow up and not just be eaten by other animals. So the necessity of parents exists, but it is not the condition for anyone to grow up into adult life. So our not being there all the time with our children in space, the hybrid children, is it doesn't take away anything to their experience, and they have been able to grow up uh, right with what was there available for them. But we experience what is guilty because our point of view is different. We believe that we need to be there for children in order for the child to be able to grow up. It's a belief system, it's a point of view, and it's valid. And however, now we discover that things can be also different. It doesn't mean that you have to have children and let them alone. No, absolutely not. However, there are always ways for a born child to grow up and find everything they need. So it's right. Life is amazing. Our incarnation, our ability to create is amazing. And so, as I was saying, then there are other hybrid programs that are led by other friends that we have, and all of this now has grown into something different, meaning that as we as human race, human species, we have grown in the last especially in the last 10 years, and we are understanding better what creation is, and how creation comes to be, and the evolution that we are in with ascension, with all of this. We are able to communicate with these experiences in a different way. So I was saying that today I went, I had one of the experience where I remember going in the spaceship and having right the contact with the zeta reticulate and with my children and all of that. Um, and every time I have these experiences is always different, meaning sometimes I experience, I feel what they do to my body, right, when they check, when they do these things. Other times, one time I was able to open my eyes and have a glimpse of what is happening. However, right, that is difficult because, again, as I was saying before, when you have your experiences of being on another planet or being in right in these kind of things in the dream state, and in your dream state you are experiencing another of your life, you are literally having another life. Many times what you perceive is related to your life here on earth, so that you are not seeing what is there, you are interpreting what is there related to your human body and human experience. So it's difficult to relate to those things, but as you grow, as one grows into it and into allowance and understanding of these experiences, the experience evolve in something different, and that's what I'm experiencing. I have a way of seeing more these things, and a way of being able to interact more and more and right, and it becomes amazing. And this week also I went into this experience of being on another planet. So I was living uh, co-experiencing the life of one of my other incarnations. I know it was on another planet, and I know that I was dreaming. So my human experience is that I was in a dream state. I was dreaming. However, I knew that I was not dreaming, because I was having an experience, and I'm able to recollect it, and actually, as I was having that experience, I woke up, and then I went back to sleep, and as I went back to sleep, I was back there in that planet, in that life. It's interesting because, right, um we relate to our dreams as if we were having some fun, right, some stuff. Oh, I'm just dreaming, repairing myself, or right, resting. Yeah, the dream state is resting. No, the dream state is, yeah, you rest as a belief system, but in reality you are not resting, because you are just focusing in something else, and so that you are having other experiences in other planets, in other incarnation. And as you are not in time, as you are sleeping, you can literally go back in time on earth and experience something in uh, what during the Roman Empire, or during Atlantis, or right, any other experience of any kind. Or you go to in the Orion on right constellation, or you go whatever, any other planet, and you are there, literally you are there. the, then you interpret it through your dream state with the human perception, that changes it into something that the human body can accept. Uh, wow. And then, right, and then you put in on it, what you do is that you put symbolics, and the symbols that you put in that, it can be symbols that are revealing something to you, or um, right, like numbers, or like, but most of these things are already happening. It's not for the future. We think, oh, I have premonition. Well, the premonition means that there is a future, but as it's not a future, you are seeing what is already happening. So right, that's where we get confused, is that we always say, oh, that's my future. No, it's your now, except that it's not this now, is another now. And it's a opportunity to see what is out there for you, so that you can choose. Or because um, right, when we have a premonition, or when someone is telling you what the cards, or whatever it may be, what is given to you is a version of the future. Sometimes people come back and say, oh, it didn't happen, you lied to me, or you were wrong, it was not like that, it didn't happen as you said. Oh, the or the how do you say in English, the people that, yeah, that look in the star, and they say things, and then, oh, it didn't, it's, no, it's not that it's wrong. It's not wrong. It's that you choose another way of living your life. You made a choice, and that choice is that you were told or foretold did not happen, but it did happen to a into a different version of reality. It did happen. You just didn't choose that in this reality. So the fortune teller, or those that are reading the cards, or giving you these kind of things, they are never wrong. They are always right, except that we have an infinite choice of realities. So if you change timeline, and what you were foretold may not happen, or may happen in a different way. So that it's easy then to come back and say, oh, you made a mistake. No, there is no mistake that was made. Also, because when someone tells you the future, they are literally telling you a version of your life. It's always correct, because the moment that someone is able to tell you this is happening in your future is because it is happening in your future. We are not able of fantasy. We are not able to invent things. We are not able of original thoughts, because everything is already created. So what comes here in this reality, in the physical reality, is already known. So that everything that is said, everything that is thought, everything that happens is already known. So when someone is telling you your future, they are not wrong. Never, ever. They always tell you what is going to happen. It's correct, except, as I said, it depends then what timeline, what choices you make for yourself, to see if that you were foretold is going to happen or not. So the foretelling of something doesn't fixate your reality. You still have the choice. However, yeah, it's more likely than not to happen, right? But why am I talking about this now? But anyway, so it's it's always right interesting to go into these things, because then it becomes perception, interpretation of reality. And with the dreams, that's why I was talking about the premonitions and these kind of things. Yeah, the premonition, the foretelling, it's right, symbolics and all those things are always right, except then that then you have to interpret them, and then you have the freedom to choose whether you go into that reality, or if you choose another reality. It's very simple, actually. And you always have the opportunity to make another experience, another choice. um so um and I was saying this because I was saying that when we have these dreams, then we put symbolics, we put premonitions, things that can be interpreted in that way, numbers, or we right, for someone, flying means something, a number means another thing. So right, every one of us, and if I remember correctly, Seth in the Seth material speaks about this, how the symbolic is always there it's not just in the dreams, also in our reality, awakened reality. But actually, we even don't know. Uh, in this moment, are we dreaming or are we awakened? Is this dream? Is this right? Well, we are dreaming somewhere, and we have our focus here, right? If we want to go there, if we really want to interpret these things this way. So, and that's why when right, and I've learned this, Angie, you just, I've learned so much watching your videos. It's amazing. um it's wow. But I also realized that it's always true, it's always correct. If I use the cards, and whatever cards I use appears, whether I use whatever way to extract a card from, that's the card. It's not wrong. That's the card. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's always the right card. If I use the runes, right? As I like to do, I take any rune, right? This one, Tyr. Can you see it? Right? And this is Tyr. It's a god in the. I think you can, right? This. It's right. And it doesn't matter how I come to extract this rune from all the runes. This is the rune that in this moment I need and has a meaning for me. So it doesn't matter. And right, with the cards you can use the tarot, or you can use, there are many cards, many things that are now available to all of us, with messages. I have here the Oracle of Gaia, and these cards have messages in them. This is, for instance, this is Ganesha, right? And or I have here, this is Remember, right? This is the Remember card. This is Amethyst, right? And they have messages in them. And then, I mean, you and it doesn't matter, right? You go and you check. There are fairy cards, there are angelic cards, etc., etc., right? And it doesn't matter because it's always correct, it's always the one, right? And that is the thing. And then I've seen you, Angie, doing it, right? Taking it and reading the card, literally entering into the card and extracting from the card what in the moment is there to be experienced, to be sad. And I got it. That's when I got it. It's really right in the moment. And if you do the same thing in another moment and you have the same card, you will interpret it in a different way because you will see it in a different way, even though it's the same card. But right, the experience changes because you receive another communication, you relate to the card in another way, right? So the foretelling and the understanding of the moment and the way you convey it changes all, right? It's in the moment and it comes to you in the moment. And that's amazing because you realize in that moment, when you realize this, it's that you are also realizing how reality works and how creation works, because it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. It's perfect and it's always correct in that moment. always, always, always. Right? We have the concept of saying that we make mistakes, and this irritates me when I'm watching someone and they say I made a mistake, or this is a mistake, or right, the concept of wrongdoing, because I say no, you don't do a mistake. You can't. It's never a mistake. You're having an experience. That's all that you are having. It's not a mistake. And what really, really irritates me is the idea of mistakes in the sense imperfection, or I shouldn't have done this. It was a mistake. Meaning, if I didn't have done this, it would be better. Or if I hadn't done this, I would have won, right? This kind of thing, it irritates me, because absolutely no. You did exactly what you wanted to do, and that is what is missing in our understanding of creation. It is that we cannot have mistakes, we cannot produce mistakes, we cannot, we are, because if you admit that, is that you are saying that you or I can be a mistake. And to that I say no. And I'm not just me saying no, we say no. There is no mistake. You are not a mistake. But humans want to see themselves as a mistake. Like, if, right, to explain why things are not the way I want them to be. It's because I made a mistake, or there is a mistake, or I am a mistake. No, absolutely not. There are other reasons why you can be right. Um, Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, right? It's not the fact of speaking of a mistake, because you can, right? It's the way you relate to it. It's the way you relate to that. If I say, "Oh, I made a mistake," it means, "Oh, 1 plus 1 doesn't make 3. It's 2. Oh, I made a mistake, right? I wrote 3 instead of 2." Even though I say, well, in creation I didn't make a mistake, it's right, it's what I was meant to write, there is a mistake. It depends to, it's the way you relate to that. Humans tend to say, to speak about mistakes in the bigger picture. I am a mistake. No, you are not a mistake. You are not. Absolutely not. Never, ever, ever, ever are you a mistake. Even in the moments where you are at your lowest point, you are not a mistake. You are not making a mistake. You are having experiences. Some experiences are painful. Yes, they are. From the human experience, from the human point of view, they are painful. We choose to have them. And we have them, and we have pain. It doesn't mean that we are making a mistake. It means we are having pain as an experience. So, relating to ourselves and having that point of view of mistake as if we shouldn't even exist. No, no. There is, in creation, the notion of mistake doesn't exist. It's a human perspective to have the mistake. It's human. It's not godly. It's not higher vibration, which is not higher, but it's the way we relate to it. So let go of mistakes. That's my advice, our advice. Let go of the notion of mistake and bring in the notion of experience. Because if you see to all that you do, to all that you have as a experience, it's much easier for you to go into the aspect of acceptance, because the way you experience your vibration and the way you are able to integrate and elaborate and let go of any experience that may be challenging for you is the way you relate to it. And if you admit the experience, if you accept the experience, it's much easier than when you are related to those things as if you are making mistakes, because the vibration of mistake is something that for the human it's much more difficult to accept and to let go, especially because when you relate to it as a mistake, what you tend to do as humans is that you keep going back to it, and you keep going back to it as, oh, if I had done this in a different way, I could have done this way, and probably the mistake wouldn't have happened if I hadn't. And then if I had, instead of, I could have, and maybe with this, and if, and probably, but if, and then, and you just stay there in the cycle of trying to correct the mistake, and you can, and you stay in that energy, and you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, and it's never ending, because you do it now and then you will do it again and then again and again, trying to find a way to correct, and you are never correcting it, because that's not the way you do those things. The only way you can accept anything like that is when you literally accept it in the flow of creation and let go of it. It happened. It's in your reality, it's in your memory, it's your experience, human experience. Okay, now I just accept it and release that dependency. I release the drug that this becomes, because it is a drug. For the human, it's a drug. You relate to these experiences as a drug, and you cannot let go of them. And the more you stay in them, the more it becomes like that, until you let go. And when you let go of that, suddenly you realize that in fact it was not as terrible as you thought it was, and you are able to move on and go to something else. But as I was saying, if you relate to these things as mistakes, it will be much more difficult for you to let go and not relive the experience in a judgmental, in a point of view of defeat, of having lost something, of being the lowest of the lowest. And so experiencing it from the point of view of lack, from the point of view of unworthiness, which is in the end exactly what you feel about yourself and many of the things that you are experiencing, the lack and the unworthiness. I was seeing something recently. So there was a race, so ski cross world championship. I think it was in Norway or in North Europe, and the 50 kilometers ended with the win of a Norwegian. Except that there was a little problem just before, and this Norwegian that won the race was disqualified. Because the Russian guy that was involved in the problem they ask for a investigation, and they end up deciding to disqualify the Norwegian winner. So the Norwegian appelled, so that they said we do not accept it, until the guy Klebo said, oh no, let go of it, I don't want to, now that they have taken this decision, I don't want to go back to it, I let go of my title, because I don't want to be known as the one that won because there was a decision, blah blah blah, right, these kind of things. And I realize because this guy, right, what happened there, this guy, there nothing was said about unworthiness, nothing was said about luck, nothing was said about these kind of things. However, now let's see this from the point of view of creation. This guy is unworthy, or to be more clear, this guy feels unworthy, so that this experience was able to happen to him, right? He won a title and it's taken away from him. That's pure unworthiness. It cannot happen to anyone that feels worthy. It happens to someone that feels unworthy, and lackful. And in his lack, when he had the opportunity to attack the decision, to oppose the decision, he said, oh no, I'm not worthy to oppose it. And I'm not worthy to have it going in any other way. So, so if he thought that he was expressing in any way, he is to say, oh, I don't want, I want this to end, I don't want to fight for it, or I don't want to go into anything. He thought he was doing that, and that he was being the biggest guy, and right, to do the right thing. No, he was expressing unworthiness, and he was expressing lack. That's why he reacted the way he reacted. So you see, the human experience appears in a certain way, and we act in a certain way. We use certain words. We are in a certain experience, and we think that we are expressing, right, just the experience. However, the reality is that there is always a mirror, there is always a reason, there is always something in that is expressed based on our relationship with ourselves. And if you feel unworthy, this kind of experience in your reality happens to you, right? You are taking something away, and then you do not fight for it, or you do not try to have it back, or you think, oh well, yeah, it's deserved, that they deserve it, or right, this kind of thing. And then in fact you're just expressing your unworthiness. I'm not worth fighting for it. um you 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 your employer terminate your work, your contract, on some baggy reason, and you have all reasons to fight it on court, on yeah, to go to the judge, and you have every reason to win it, because it's really not correct what they have done, and then you doubt it, or you don't, you say, oh, I'm not worth fighting for it, or right, this kind of thing. You may think that you have reasons not to fight for your job, and also you can say, I don't want the job back, which is right. Why would you go back to that job, right? It's not, but it's not, the thing is not to have back the job. The thing is that they terminated your contract in a unlawful or a terrible way, and you have rights. Even though you have to go in front of the judge to have those rights recognized, letting go of that right to do that is not because you are tired or because you want to change, right? To focus on something else. That is the story you are telling yourself. The reality is that you're telling, I'm not worth fighting for it. I'm not worth to have my rights recognized, right? We don't want to recognize um, this reality for ourselves, but that's exactly what we are expressing when we take certain decisions. So yeah, and now I don't even know why I'm talking about that right now. um but yeah, and now I know. And this is what I'm going to dive into this next two um, Zoom meeting that I have um, organized. So let me just see. The first one is the 20th. Yeah, Saturday the 20th. And the second one will be on April the 10th. And I'm going to enter into worthiness, wealth, and now I will go much more into the detail and build up what is worth and what is wealth, and what are the mechanisms for one and the other. Why do you recognize some of the aspect of the one and not others? Why you are into this way of doing, and why your expressing lack has consequences on your wealth? Why sometimes you are blocking your wealth, blocking your worthiness. Um, and these things have a direct consequence on many topics, on many aspects of your life, so that there is a work that needs to be done in order to lift up, literally lift up your worthiness, the way you feel, perceive your worth, because you have, each one of us, I to begin with, have been taught that I'm unworthy. I have accepted that aspect, that way of feeling and seeing myself, until I understood that that is something that I've been taught, and that is not true. So that, and the moment I realized that, I have decided that I am worthy, that I am beautiful, that I am amazing, that all of this is not being superior, right? That I'm not egotical for saying these things, but I am assessing what every and each one of us we are. All all of us, we are these things. Every and each one of us, we are beautiful, we are amazing, we are extraordinary in our way. But all of this is not, it has to be expressed in the ordinary things, meaning we are all equal in this. We are all, each one of us, we are exactly all of these things. We are not better than others, we are not superior than others, we are equal in that. In creation, we are all equals. Then in my relationship with myself, I am saying I am wonderful, I am beautiful, I'm amazing, I am extraordinary, right? And that is what I want every and each one of us, of you, to be able to say and express about yourself, because that is the truth. I know it for myself and I know it for you, each one of you. I know these things. And I know that you can express these things, learning them or unlearning um, the crap that you have learned at school and from your parents. And remember, it's not, they did nothing wrong. They learn exactly the same thing that they taught you. So they are not, right. It's always coming from one generation to the other generation, this unworthiness, this right hate of the self. And each and every one of us and every human experience the feeling of wanting to leave this reality. I want to go out. I want out. Oh, please let me just die and go back to to my soul, to whatever, so that I stop having this crap life. Right, these things. And this is what, right, we learn about being human, this hatred of human. And now I come here and I say we can stop learning that, and we can stop believing those craps, that BS, and we can learn loving ourselves. We can learn our worthiness. We can learn that we are amazing, extraordinary, and all of those things, and believe it because it's true. But we have given up those things. And now I come here and say, let's work on it. Let's give you this awareness of the self, this self worth, so that you are able to lift yourself at what at your worth. And from there you will be able to create your reality in a different way. Everything is going to change the moment you realize your worthiness, the moment you realize that you are all there is in your reality. There is no one else than you in your reality. Everyone else is attracted, they are real, attracted, co-creating with you. But as of your reality, there is you, and you are everything in your world. You are literally everything in your world. And you have been told that you are not enough. No, you are enough, and you are everything, all there is. So let's that's what is the base of these courses that I'm going to have on Zoom, the next two, as I said, on the 20th March the 20th and April the 10th. And then I will start teaching these things. I have my website, and I will share these things. And the idea behind all of this is to literally go through all of this unworthiness, lack, bringing awareness of that, and then bringing also techniques of not being unworthy, of not being lackful, how to recognize when you are those things, to recognize that um, when you see something and you say it's too expensive, you're being lackful. You can say the same thing without being lackful, but you have to realize it. You have to know it. If you see shoes or shirts or dresses that you would like to buy, and you see the price and you say, oh, it's too expensive, I don't have the money to buy it, you are being lackful, because you have the money to buy it. If you decide to buy it, you always have the money to buy it. Creation always gives you what you need in the moment. So by saying it's too expensive, you are being lackful. And when you and why is that something that has an influence in your reality is that when you are being lackful and saying I have not enough money, I have not enough money to buy this, you are literally creating your reality based on that. And guess what? You will not have the money to buy the dress or the shirt or the shoes or whatever. If you are in the same situation and you see the dress, the shoes, the shirt, or whatever, and instead of saying it's too expensive, you just say, right, I love it. It's not now the moment for me to buy it. I will think for later, another moment. I will come back. I will see. Do I need it? Maybe not. And then also, there is another way, another thing is that you can see the dress and say, oh, $1,000 for this dress is too much because it is too much, but you are not being lackful because you are recognizing that the value of that dress is not $1,000, right? It is it is a relationship to a reality, to a truth, and therefore it's not lack, right? So you have ways to say the same thing. So you say it's too expensive, but if you say it's too expensive, I don't have the money, that's lack. If you say it's too expensive, this dress, it's not $1,000, you're not being lackful there, right? You're saying the same thing in a different way. One is lackful, the other is not. And these things can be learned, understood, because as I was saying, there are consequences in the way you express these things. And as soon as you are lackful, well, you will create your reality based on your lack, and you will not have the money. And also the way you relate to your wealth, right? If you relate to your wealth as exclusively money, you are missing to all of the richness that is around you, that you have, because it's yours. And I was saying before and at the beginning, or some times ago, I was saying humans have this ability to not see what they do not want to see. So dragons, fairies, unicorns, my friends, the elves. Yes. Um, they don't want to see them because they are scared, because right, the dragons scary, so they find a way to have the dragons not in the reality they are living in. So that's the same thing. If you do not want to see that your wealth is found and created in other things than money, well, you will miss on it and it will not be available for you. So this is also a way uh, to relate to your wealth in a different way. And all of this is going to do what for you? It's going to change the way you relate to reality. So your reality is going to change, and you will create a different reality for yourself where you will be able to relate to it in a different way, so have things that were not there for you before. That's the and that is I can say that is a promise, because that's how literally creation works. But as we have learned to be lackful, to be hateful towards the self, etc., etc. These things are not yet there for all of us until we are able to change the way we relate to them. So that's the work I am going to do and plan to do with those that decide to work with me. And so on the 20th, March the 20th, and April the 10th. So everyone is invited. It's free. Come in, absolutely. I will I will share the link for the Zoom meeting. It's already on Facebook, and then I will put it here on here on Instagram and everywhere. How I'm oh, I'm sorry. I still don't know how exactly work Instagram live. I see some stuff passing there, right? Some messages and everything, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to respond to any of those. I have to learn. I have to learn. I have to learn. I am wanting to learn some Noel here. Can I? Oh, right. I can respond. Interesting. Um, right. But it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. And I will learn, and I will do it in a different way. And I will do it. Right? We can learn everything. It's not impossible. This is a new challenge to learn Instagram live, because it's funny to be right, to be live like that. Anyway, yes. So and in this work and every work that I'm going to do, obviously I'm working with the angelics that are accompanying all of this, and obviously all of my guides um, and all of that, because it's what, right? Why am I able to do this? It's that the experience of lifetimes of the self, of the being, right? Everything coming through and expressing itself through this version, this incarnation. All of us, we have this, right? All of us. Then what often we experience is that we are in denial of these abilities, of this capacity to channel ourselves and all of our knowledge, abilities, etc., etc. But all of that is there available for everyone. So I have all of this experience and knowledge that I can access and share and offer, which is what we do, right? We exactly do this, and then it's always an amazing experience for me to be able to do this and to connect with each and every one of you. And I don't know, because I think that I overstepped the 1 hour the thing on Instagram. It's 82 minutes, so it's, well, we'll see. I don't know what was going to happen. Anyway, it's funny discovering something new. Hi, Instagram. Such a great thing. Yes, so for me, the message and what I am going to work on a lot with everyone that decide to come is, beside wealth and right, being worth and leaving luck behind, is creating this, or awakening, more than creating, but it's already there, awakening the love of human, the relationship of human, the hatred that we feel for ourselves, and then that we transmit to other humans, and to human in general. It's not natural, but it's not our natural state. It's not what we are in the flow of creation. It's what we learn, because we are human not by mistake. We are human because we decide to be human, because human, it's an amazing experience. And the fact that we hate it so much, it's an experience, it's a human experience. We go through it. Then, when we let go of this hatred and we realize the human and we start loving the human experience, being human, we realize that we are exactly where we are meant to be, and that this experience is the best experience you can ever have, being a human, and that this experience is in nothing inferior to any other experiences that you can have, being incarnated as any other species, a draconian, Pleiadian, Octurian. Remember also that these older species, they do not perceive themselves as Pleiadian or whatever else. They are simply themselves. They are I am, which is where we are going to, into a state of I am. And that's why I put the title. And when you are I am, you are even not aware that you are I am, that you are stating your position as creator being, as God, as whatever. You simply are. That is a natural state that we have. We are having a human experience of not being I am. To understand I am, and then to become I am. Because once you are I am, you do not need to understand I am. You simply are, right? It's something, right? A state of creation where you simply are the creator, and you do not have to discover the creator because you are the creator. You do not need to say that you are amazing because you are the creator and therefore you are amazing, right? Being something means that you do not need to state it, you do not need to say it, you do not need even to feel it. You simply are. And believe me, it's different. It's absolutely different. It's another state of being. And that's where we are going. That is why we need to understand, to learn first that human being is amazing, and that you are a human being because you are a human being, because you focus on human being, and because you decided to focus to be a human being. And therefore, as there are no mistakes, as nothing is wrong, as you choose to come here, it means that you are exactly what you are. And there is no need for anything else. That's the epiphany. It's the summum. It's all. There is nothing to be added to it. It's that you have to be, because that's what you are when you are in your natural state of flow, of creation. You are. All right. So with this, I'm going to leave you and to it's 1:30, so it's time for me to go to bed. So I'm going to leave you here. So thank you for joining in and to spend these moments with me. I, as I said, I enjoy every moment, and I enjoy each and every one of you, and I thank you everyone that joined in from whenever, right? In space time, it's now, always now. So you were here, or you are here right now. And I love every and each one of you, and I thank you to every and each one of you. And so go and rock your reality as the amazing creator that you are. Bye bye. Right. This is finished. And now let's finish this one too.